What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 7 of Purple Parlor. And boy, oh boy, the Vikings are 3-0, and we're gonna get right into it right after this.
I say the same, same, same. I say the same, same, same. I say the same, same, same. Alright.
What is going on? And we got the whole crew. I was just playing with y'all. We had to hide
Hey.
Rat for a second. He got in just in time. What's up, y'all? How's it feel to be 3-0?
Feeling good, feeling good.
Let's tell you what, man. Last week we went from one of the elite teams in the league. It's funny how each week this team progresses with their possibilities that they can accomplish at the highest order this season. We went from one of the elite teams last week beating the San Francisco 49ers to now this is the best team in the league. And where's the lie? Like, how do you game plan against the Vikings, both offensively and defensively? Brian Flores, while everybody else is trying to figure out how to crack the code, they're playing chess. Brian Flores is playing Sudoku. Bro, this is next level stuff. And honestly, I'm at the point now where it's just when Sam Darnold went down, right? And we were all sitting there gasping for air. Just no, this can't happen.
I wasn't.
This isn't. I was. You're lying if you said you weren't. I'm like,
Mullins, baby.
This is how it ends. I was ready to fire off some Jern Hall hot takes all over again. Like, we can't even have the opportunity. Sam Darnold, this is going to be a major injury. We don't even have the opportunity to have another choke job in the NFC Championship game. This is how it ends. And he came back in the game and got his MRI, and he's good to go. Man, we back. This is our time now. If anyone deserves it, it's us. That's how I'm doing, SK.
Yeah, man. Rap. How do you follow that?
Man, it feels good, man. You know, and look, I'm actually surprised as a Vikings fan how good our team looks. To be honest with you, like I was not expecting our team to look like how it's looking so far, but I'm here for the ride, baby. Like we got us a defense, man. Not only a defense, I just think like the coaching. We got to give all the credit to the coaching. Kevin O'Connell, man, everything, man. Everything's just hitting right now. You know, it's still 3 weeks, right? The season's still young, but still yet, man. This looks sustainable though. Like this looks like something that can carry on for a long time. So I'm excited, man. 3-0, baby. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
first
go.
time we've been 3-0 since I think 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Now
Yeah.
we don't need to go
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and talk
Yeah,
about
because
what
we went
happened
like,
that
what did we
year.
go, like 8-0? Did we go like 8
No,
6-0?
we went 5-0 and then we lost like 5 straight or something
Yeah.
like that.
That's right. Yeah.
So, but this feels a whole lot different. You know, it's not just the offensive side carrying us like it was in 2022 with Donatel's shell defense. I mean, that kind of felt empty. Like there was no real substance to that quick start. Now we didn't start 3-0, but we did end up 13 and 4,
13
something
4,
like
yeah.
that.
And it felt like every win was by a single possession. It wasn't real. It was one of those, this is fraudulent, and whatever you're going to accomplish, you better do it this year because next year it sure as hell is not going to go this way again. No, this is real. This is a real team. This is something that can last for the long haul.
And it's fun. It's fun too. That 2022 season is really stressful. Yes, we finished 13 and 4, but it was extremely stressful. Like this is just kind of we're confident. I feel it not only in the players and obviously the coaching staff, which Kevin O'Connell, if you guys didn't get a chance to see, I'm not sure who this kind of report was from, but it was a legitimate source, is that he's like, no, like we're not about to just sit here and get bullied. Like we're gonna be the bullies. Like just wait. So this team is playing confident. The fan base is getting confident. That's the biggest thing because we all know as Vikings fans how when is it gonna screw up? When is it gonna happen? Now we're gonna have that throughout the entire season, but I feel like we're playing with house money right now. Like we're having fun. Like, this team is having fun, and they're balling. They're kicking teams' asses while they're doing it. So, I mean, I'm enjoying it, man. I know everybody else is enjoying it. 34-7 against the Texans, which a lot of people had. I mean, there was a few people that had them going to the Super Bowl, but there was quite a few people that had them going to the AFC Championship game and eventually losing to the Chiefs. This was a really good team that we went out there and we just dominated from first whistle to the last whistle. It was beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
And the coverage of the Vikings has been absolutely embarrassing. Outside of content creators and local beat writers and reporters talked about the national media plenty, but also other content creators that try to do an all-encompassing show covering the entire NFL where they clearly don't know what it is that they're talking about. I saw so many clips of, hey, yeah, the Texans, the star power that they have, the Vikings, I just don't know about them. And to see the outcome now, not only just with that, but also with Vegas. Like, come on, bro. We're going up against Green Bay, we're 2.5-point underdogs. After seeing what you just saw, forget the last 3 weeks, the last 2 weeks, because the Giants don't count because they stink, right? Okay, fine. We're really going to sit here and do this? And the fan base, they should be confident. How many times have we had moments like this? I mean, you can probably count on one hand, definitely on one hand, 3 fingers at best. I can't think of a higher natural high than what I'm feeling right now. They should embrace, get lost in the confidence, get lost in the process, the enjoyment, because we don't know how often this is going to happen after. But this is a good team. Forget a good team. This is the best team in the league. Both sides of the ball, all 3 phases, coaching, players. There's so many great players that it's hard to even keep up with. The hell are we talking about, man? I just laugh now when I see this crap. Right before we got on this stream, I saw someone repost some content creator. Yeah, the Texans, they're going to win by double digits.
Yeah.
Who are the Vikings? And then when we give our projections, when we give our predictions, like, for example, I predicted a double-digit win for the Vikings in this game without hesitation. Oh, you're idiots. We got hit up again by Texans fans.
Oh, yeah, no. They're not off the hook either. Just like we did Niner fans.
They're
doing y'all too, Texas fans.
No, they're not. But, we need to talk our shit. The Vikings are the big dogs in the league right now. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. Anything can happen. But right now, it's the story of the Vikings.
As it should be. I mean, look, we're not sitting here saying just yet that we're going to go win the Super Bowl. But if this team continues to play the way they're playing, we have a legitimate chance. The NFC's wide open. The 49ers are a walking graveyard right now. Brock Purdy is day-to-day now with a back injury. I mean, you got guys dropping like flies. You got the Rams. Their team is hanging on by a thread. You have the Eagles, which I don't think anybody really truly believes in the Eagles the way they play. Jalen Hurts is just turning the ball over left and right. I mean, the Seahawks, which you got to give the Seahawks their credit. I mean, we may be a little bit biased, but I would say the Minnesota Vikings 3-0 record is far more impressive than the Seahawks 3-0 record. But give them their credit, they're 3-0. But right now, the Saints just lost to the Eagles at home. The Cowboys are looking the way they're looking. The NFC's wide open.
Yeah.
Wide open.
It is. It really is. I agree, man. There's not much competition in the NFC for us, man. Not looking how we're looking, man. I'm not worried about anybody, to be honest with you. The Saints look bad on Sunday too, so I mean, they could fall off the face of the earth. What we have is for real, man. That's just what it is, man. What we have is for real. I don't see it going anywhere. And what's even more crazy, right, is that with injuries, I can't remember the last time
nobody wants to talk about that though. Nobody wants to talk about our
injuries. It's like it doesn't even worry me anymore. It's just like, star edge rusher out. Who cares? We'll have next dog up. Bruh, like that's just what it is, man. Like it's just it feels good. It feels good, man. We really them for real.
Yeah,
It
no, I
really
mean,
goes back to Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, the start of the offseason, from free agency to the draft
Mhm.
to the coaching staff and the talent that we have, not just with the starters, but with depth as well. Patrick Jones, for example, had another really good game in the absence of Dallas Turner. I mean, this has just been one of those things where piece by piece, the start of the offseason up to this very point, you could see how this was progressing if you paid attention to the Minnesota Vikings. And while everybody else is scrambling their heads trying to figure out hot takes on how to explain what the hell the Vikings are doing, because we could have never seen this coming. Like, we already saw it. We
yeah.
saw this build up at the start of
Yeah.
the offseason to now, and they're only going to get better.
Yeah. For
Yeah, I
sure,
mean,
man.
let's look at some of the numbers from yesterday's game. I mean, obviously, stars of the show again is that Brian Flores defense, and it's week in and it's week out. And I don't remember the last time, probably 2017, when we felt this comfortable with the defense, where we just oh, defense is just gonna do our thing. It's really
Mhm.
up to what our offense does, and our offense is playing lights out as well. So we're really playing just sound football all around in all facets of the game. So, um, third down efficiency, we went 6 for 13, just under 50%. 4 for 14 for the Houston Texans. Again, another masterclass by Brian Flores and his
Talk
defense.
about them rushing yards we allowed, though. That's the biggest stat.
Yeah, only 38 rushing yards. They were down. There's a little bit of context to it, to where yes, they were down
They
their
was
top
trying to
two
run
running
though at the
back,
beginning.
but
They just couldn't do it.
it, that was the biggest concern, and I think we talked about this before we even started this podcast. Is that our biggest concern is, can we stop the run, and
Yeah.
do we have enough in the trenches? And so far, we've more than proven that. We've been
Mhm.
great against the run, especially against the Texans, only allowing 38 yards on the ground. But fourth down efficiency, they went 2 for 4. We went 1 for 1. We might be like 100% on fourth downs this year. I have to go back and look at that stat, but I think we might be 100% on fourth downs. Um, we ended up getting 5 sacks on the day, allowed 4 sacks, but again, that's a very good pass rushing defensive line with Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson. I think they had
Mhm.
another guy that went for 2 sacks yesterday, which again, Daniil Hunter didn't do much. I think he had 2 tackles and 2 quarterback hurries or something like that. 5 penalties for 30 yards, very good on the Viking side. 11 penalties for 88 yards, and obviously we gotta, point it out. We got a legitimate home field advantage now.
Yes.
It hasn't felt like this in a while, since probably the Metrodome. Like, it's been a
Yeah.
long time since we'd have a legitimate home field advantage with the crowd noise as well. So that obviously played factor. I think there was a point in time where we had 3 false starts in a row,
Yep.
consecutive in a row,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
which
Oh, it's crazy.
give it up for the people at that game, man. They were nice and loud. The Niner game was loud too. It didn't get to 120 decibels, but yeah, shout out to the home crowd. And obviously we had the 2 picks off of CJ Stroud, no interceptions for Sam Darnold, which is always good. That's going to put us in the position to win. And the time of possession was pretty much split down the middle. Um, Sam Darnold goes for, let's start with CJ Stroud. 20 for 31, 215 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. They brought Davis Mills in later on for a drive or 2 there. Cam Akers, 9 carries for 21 yards. Stephon Diggs, 10 receptions for 94 yards. Side note, too, man, I'm not sure exactly how the initial reaction for Stephon Diggs was in the stadium, but it looked like he got some love from the fans there, which, man, we moved on. We're
Yeah.
on to bigger and better things.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
for sure.
glad we didn't harp on that and boo the guy. He
Yeah.
didn't. The Minneapolis Miracle. He gave us the greatest play in Minnesota Vikings history. So got to
Fact.
give him some love there. Nico Collins, 4 receptions for 86 yards. Tank Dell, 5 receptions for 62. Over to the Minnesota Vikings, Sam Darnold, 17 for 28, 181 yards and 4 touchdowns. So not a big stat line as far as yards go, but hey, he punched it in the end zone when he needed to. So Aaron Jones goes for over 100 yards, I think, in back-to-back games. Didn't he go for over 100 last week as well? No,
Mm,
he didn't. No, he
can't
didn't.
remember.
Ty Chandler was the leading rusher last week. So
That's
he
right.
didn't go over 100, but 19 carries for 102 yards, just under 5.5 yards per carry. Justin Jefferson, 6 receptions for 81 yards and a touchdown. I believe all of that came in the first half as well.
Yeah.
Second leading receiver was Aaron Jones, 5 receptions for 46 yards and a touchdown. And Jalen Naylor coming up big again, 3 receptions, 31 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, no Addison, no problem. When Addison gets back, we have a hefty, which we already knew this. We
Yeah.
talked about this on one of the earlier shows. We have one of the, if not the deepest wide receiver room in the league, and it's showing right now. You see Trent Sherfield out there getting one catch for 8 yards, but I believe it was a big one. Brandon Powell getting a few catches in there.
Shout out Johnny Munt
He
with
had
the
a good
touchdown.
Johnny
Yeah.
Munt with 1 catch, but
Yeah.
I mean, dime by Sam Darnold and a great catch by Johnny Munt. I mean,
Yeah, man.
this this team, man, what more can we say about it? I mean, as a Vikings fan, you guys should have confidence, man. Enjoy it. Like, enjoy this process. Like Randy said earlier, enjoy it. Sam Darnold, man, it's a great story.
It is.
It fits right in with what the Minnesota Vikings are, exactly what our fan base loves. We love an underdog story. And hey, if the national media wants to keep ignoring us and keep making excuses for why we're winning these games, do it all season. Like, keep that same energy for the entire year, because we love being underdogs. I'll take that. And we got some dogs.
It's crazy to think about. I seen something earlier with Sam Darnold. Like, Sam Darnold is actually younger than the Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, because he's 27.
Yeah, he's still young.
Meaning, yeah, and I say that to say, like, there's still a lot of tread on the tires, man. 27 years old, man. You know,
Big Sammy D.
Sammy
Big
D.
Sammy
Technically,
D.
you know what I'm saying? Technically. Nah, I'm a JJ McCarthy. Listen, I'm JJ McCarthy all day, but still yet, you know, at the end of the day, if he was to take us, let's just say he takes us to the furthest of the furthest, right? Like, we got to have the conversation, you know? Because whatever quarterback wins the Vikings their first Super Bowl, bro, we got to build a statue of this motherfucker outside. You know what I mean? Like, it just has to happen.
I mean, we might need to build a statue of KOC and Brian Flores out there.
That is a fact too.
I mean, we kind of touched on it last week. That this is the best coaching staff in the league. I'm gonna go out on a whim and say that we have the best coaching staff in the league, and it's showing week in and week out. We continue to outcoach good coaching staffs. I mean, this was just D'Amico Ryans and offensive coach Slowick, I believe his name is, who's considered to be one of the top head coach hires next offseason. So the week before that, you're out coaching Kyle Shanahan. Like, Brian Dable isn't a pushover coach. It's just Daniel Jones. So, I mean, week in and week out, you are continuing to outcoach the opposition. And when you have better coaching, chances are you're going to have a good chance to win that game. So, and we got the talent.
And the coaching is elite for sure, especially in the adjustments department. They certainly adjust drive by drive, half by half. But there's another facet of this team that's really good at adjustments, and that's Sam Darnold. I'm telling you, man, now that Kirk Cousins, and I'm only bringing his name up because it's relevant to Sam Darnold.
It's fair.
Now that I watch Kirk Cousins as a member of the Atlanta Falcons, and I watch how they work offensively, like all the years that I spent defending Kirk before I turned on him after 4th and 8, I'm watching him with the Falcons, and it's like, man, set hut, he stands there in the pocket. Sometimes with the Vikings, he would take off and we would call him Lamar Cousins or Kirk Jackson, but it was rare. For the most part, though, you see him now, ball snaps, he sits there in that pocket, and man, if that offensive line ain't legit and he doesn't get enough time for those receivers to develop with their routes, I mean, that play is as good as over with.
Yeah.
You compare that to Sam Darnold. And last week we were talking about the offensive line not getting enough praise. Well, it certainly regressed to the means with Garrett Bradbury, who had an awful day, as well as Ed Ingram. But you know what? How many times so far in these first 3 games where the protection breaks down, Sam doesn't just stand there. He adjusts.
Yeah.
just like the coaching staff does with the total team, with the total roster. He senses pressure. He moves around. He gives the play every chance that he can to keep it alive.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he have to take a sack, okay, or throw it away, whatever. Like, plays are going to break down. Nothing's going to go perfect. And with a guy like Kirk Cousins, everything has to go perfect. I'm seeing a quarterback that is able to say, oh, hell, everything's falling apart. Let me get out this pocket, or let me move up in the pocket as the pressure is getting to me to make this dope-ass play. I mean, that right there, that says something to me. Like, going back to this is sustainable, this is for real. Sam Darnold deserves a ton of credit in so many different ways, but especially in that way.
Justin Jefferson touchdown was a prime example.
Yeah, first touchdown, absolutely. Stepping up in the
roll
pocket
out and make that happen. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see Kirk do that too many times. And I mean, like Randy said, we're not here to compare and contrast. I mean, we could sit there and do it all day. We could sit there and do it with Sam Darnold. We could sit there and do it next season with JJ McCarthy and forever. But I mean, it's a legitimate comparison. Like, we're seeing exactly what we've been wanting out of a quarterback and what we lacked with Kirk Cousins. We need you to move a little more. We need you to show a little more grit. Like, we're not asking you to do all these, dance moves on the field or anything like that. But like, give us a spark. Give us
Randy, you jumped on that train. And you said 4th and 8. So you jumped on that train 2022 then, into 2022. That's when you started saying F Kirk.
Yep.
See, brother, I've been on that train since 2018, man. You know what I mean? Like, coming from the Washington, I said, this guy is a pocket passer where shit just got to go exactly how it's drawn up or we going to have trouble. And if, God damn it, and like you said, watching him, what was that? Was that last night? I think they played last night.
Yeah.
Watching them, and remember, I'm like, bro, I feel so bad for Atlanta fans because I mean, it looked like the same exact shit that they do, and every game's going to be tight. They have to realize that every game with Kirk Cousins is going to come down to the last fucking play, bro. Like, back, it is, dog. Like, straight up.
That's true.
But I mean,
good luck.
It's exactly what he kind of gave us in his tenure with us. Yeah. We're just good enough to feel like we're in games and we have a chance, but we're far enough to really not at the end of the day.
But the Kirk stands to say, oh, he's never had a defense like Brian Flores. You know what I mean? Like, they'll say that. But it's all good. We'll move on past that.
Yeah,
we're past that, man. It's Sammy D, man. It's Sammy D time, baby.
Big Sammy D. But, I mean, you kind of touched on it earlier, Randy. You said we are the best team in the NFL right now. Rap, do you feel the same? Are we the best team in the NFL?
I mean, low key, dog. Like, yeah, I'm a side with my boy. Yeah, like, name me one better. You know what I'm saying? Like, drop in the chat. Who got one better?
I was about to say, name a team that you feel confident in that will challenge the Vikings right now. The answer is nobody. We can
argue with anybody, bro. Like, we can argue with any. I mean, people can say, well, the Chiefs might, because they only because they're still undefeated. I will say this. Right now, today, and even tonight, because I see them balling, the Bills look really fucking good too, though. Bills, they always look good at the beginning of the season. So, like, that would probably be a good game, a good defensive challenge for us. Like, we can challenge their offense and stuff. But again, it's not crazy to say we're the best team in the NFL.
Give us a Bills Vikings Super Bowl.
Let's go.
Something's got to give.
Oh,
let's go.
That hell would freeze over. If we got a Bills Vikings Super Bowl, could you imagine that? Two teams that are 0-4 in the Super Bowl, somebody's got to win, and it goes to overtime.
Crazy.
It starts with this defense, though.
Yep.
Brian Flores, I am confident in his ability to game plan specifically for each team every week, and you just faced two of the certainly popular, more projected to be successful this year, those two types of teams. And let's not even get lost in the fact that, hey, SK and Rap, this was supposed to be the tough part of the schedule.
Yeah.
That we just ran through. This was supposed to be it. This was supposed to be the juggernaut of this schedule. Crushed them. Destroyed them. Wasn't even a factor. And now the rest of the schedule is a cakewalk. Okay.
Let's hope.
Okay.
Let's hope we don't go like this. The easy part of the schedule, we start fucking folding or some bullshit. That'd be crazy. It's like the
Yeah.
Vikings. That would be some Viking shit though. I ain't gonna lie. Like dominate the toughest part of the schedule, and then when you get to the easy part of the schedule, we just drop a couple. But no, I don't see it happening
Yeah.
for real. This was the tough part of the schedule that what they were talking about, and we're smacking shit. Like that's the difference too. It's about how we're winning the football games, man. Like it's different if you're just winning by a last second field goal and you fighting to the end. Like we're literally the closest game was the 49ers so far, and that game shouldn't even have been that close. It wasn't close. Like the scoreboard doesn't really tell the story of that game. You had to actually watch that game to realize. And I was watching a 49ers podcast last night, tapping in with my boys over there, and they were talking about how the Vikings should have won by 15 more points. They put 15 more on the board for us. They said they should have won by 15 more. So, that tell you something, bro. Like we stomping shit right now, bro. Like for real, like literally, dog.
But we're the crazy ones. We're the clowns. I don't know what
we're the clowns
about.
though. Clown show. You know how I go.
We're just biased Vikings fans.
Yeah,
that's
just
all,
Vikings
guys.
fans, man.
But,
even if we were asked though, we probably would be saying we're gonna win.
I'm willing to fall on this sword of embarrassment if it all goes to hell.
Yeah, me too.
But
it's gonna be one hell of a ride.
I'm confident in this team. I don't care. I stand on business. This is the best team in the league.
I mean, going into the Texans game, one of our biggest concerns was, okay, we know as Vikings fans, our teams always come off of these big emotional wins, and we just lay an egg the very next week. I mean, this wasn't even close to that. This was the opposite. This was, okay, we just whooped the 49ers ass. Let's stay at home. Let's welcome Houston over. Let's welcome back Danielle Hunter and Stephon Diggs and Chris Boyd. Let's welcome all these guys back, and let's whoop their ass from the very beginning of the game to the very end, from start to finish, just an ass whooping. Yeah. And I have nothing against it. I like the Texans. I like CJ Stroud. Like, I love the team they have. This is nothing personal by any means. And we're talking our shit because we understand the type of team that you are. You guys are a legitimate team. We consider you guys a contender. So when we go out there and we beat y'all 34-7, and it wasn't even close, we're going to bask in it. And this is not to insult y'all. This is for the lack of love that we're getting through national media for what we're doing to teams. Yes, we're getting a little love from Dan Orlovsky and here and there on ESPN. No, you guys don't know what we're doing over here. Like, we got something special going on over here.
No, SK nicer than me. I'm insulting your ass. You hear me? Like, y'all is garbage, man. Watch your mouth. We are the truth, and we showed you. You talk too early. I love it when a fan talk too early. Now, this is the thing. I'm willing, like Randy said. Hey, I'm going all in. If we talk our shit and then we come back the next week and we get demolished, bro, we're going to be right back here on Monday talking about it. So, like, we don't go running high. I can't stand these fans be talking crazy. And then on Sunday, they go and they hide, man. Stop doing that. Like, at least have fun. You feel me?
Bookmarking our shit for no reason.
Yeah,
you don't even come back.
Bookmarking the hell out of our video. That's
ain't even no need to keep receipts, man.
Yeah,
that's back-to-back weeks, y'all.
Back-to-back weeks, bro. I had a motherfucker on my channel talk crazy, and now he running and stuff. It's just like, bro, stop it, man. That gets on my nerve. It make me want to find your email, all type of shit, and just bug the shit out you, man. For real. Like.
But the fact is, the Vikings are on a tier of their own, and then it's everybody else, including the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I want the Chiefs.
Me too.
Bring them on. This team can absolutely win a Super Bowl. Okay? We don't know what's going to happen. But based off of right here, right now, there's no shame in admitting facts that the way this team is playing, if it keeps going this way, they can beat anybody in the league. The only way they would lose is if they beat themselves.
Yep.
They can absolutely win their first championship this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
feel that. I feel that same way though. Like, honestly, like, I really do, bro. Like, I really feel like this is the type of team, like, not just taking the Vikings out of it. Like, when you just look at the history of how the NFL, there's been teams like how our team is structured and how our team is looking right now that make the Super Bowl, bro. And I'm telling you, like, it feels right, bro. It just feels right. Like the brotherhood, everything about it just seems like it's there, man. It just seems like it's gonna happen. And we may and realistically, it's the NFL, right? We're gonna drop a couple games this season. That's a fact. We are,
Yeah.
right? That's a fact. And we're probably gonna lose to a team that we probably should have stomped, but it's gonna happen because it's the NFL. But you need that though. And that's what's really going to show us who our team really is once they fall on their face one time and see how they
How
bounce
do you
back the
respond?
following week.
Yeah,
Because that's what
absolutely.
championship teams do, bro. They bounce back for sure. So hey, look, man, it's exciting, man. To be honest with you, and I know we're gonna get into next week's game. I'm gonna tell you right now. Well, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Leading up to the bye, bro, I got us going undie, man. We going undefeated. You hear me? We ain't losing.
Well, it starts and it ends with the defense. So
Yeah.
obviously, I think we all agree that if we had to pick an MVP overall, Brian Flores is the mastermind. He's the puppet master. He's making all these things go. But besides Brian Flores, who is your defensive MVP so far? It's an extremely tough question because everybody's getting off on the defensive side of the ball. But if you had to choose somebody, who would be your defensive MVP?
Right.
Jonathan Grenard. Right now, especially
Agreed.
after that 3-sack performance he had yesterday against the Texans, it's got to be him. Jonathan Grenard, SK rap. Jonathan Grenard is top 5 in sacks.
Yeah.
League wide. Josh Metellus would be a second place for me, defensive player of the year for this team, but it's Jonathan Grenard.
Yeah. What
That's
about
tough.
you,
Yeah,
Rap?
that's tough. I'm gonna go
Ivan Pace.
Nah, I ain't
Pace
gonna go
gang.
Pace. I ain't gonna go Pace because he didn't get to play this week. I ain't gonna go.
Yeah.
Which it didn't matter, dog. That's what's so great about it. It didn't matter, man. We had Goucher, whatever his name is. They put a little French accent on that.
Yeah, they
motherfucker. I
did.
like that. I like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna
Him
go
and
with
Nash.
Van Ginkel. I'm gonna go with Van
Okay.
Ginkel, man.
The
Van
Gink,
Ginkel,
okay.
he's been solid. Obviously the big play with the pick 6. He had a sack on.
Yeah, he got a sack.
yesterday.
He got a sack
He led the
yesterday.
team in tackles yesterday too, so he did that. You know what I'm saying? Van Ginkel's been just solid, man, just a baller too. So I mean, and that's the thing, like you said, there's so many MVPs on the defense because as a unit, as one, that's what I love about this team, bro, is everybody's just doing their assignment. And next week, guess what? It's probably going to be somebody different. Like for real. But that's what good defenses do. You don't have to focus on one player. Like when we had Danielle Hunter, it was Danielle Hunter week in and week out. You know what I mean? Nobody else really. I mean, you had a couple of splashes here at Harrison Smith have a game or whatever, but like now it's like, oh shit, Van Ginkel. Oh, now this week it's Grenard. This week it's Ivan Pace. Oh, now it's Metellus. It's like, bro, everybody just balling,
It's
man.
too
A team
much.
full of ballers.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's an extremely tough question.
Yeah.
But I would have to lean Grenard too. Obviously, what he's doing on the field, 4 sacks on the season, 9 pressures, and then being a leader in this locker room too. I know I'm one of the guys that always harps on those little things that may not show on the field, but he's being a leader, especially to these young guys. Dallas Turner, you got Patrick Jones, who's he should have had another sack this past week, but he just missed one, I believe. So, I mean, we have young guys coming into their own, and Grenard is the guy leading those guys. But I think an honorable mention, and it doesn't show a lot in the stat sheet, Harrison Phillips is having a great start
Great year.
to the season, like in all facets, not just against the run. Like he's the first pass play against the Houston Texans. He's the one that tipped that ball up that caused the interception. He has a sack on the season. He has 3 pressures, 2 quarterback hurries. That's not even his forte. That's not his thing. Like he's supposed to be our meat in the middle. Him and Tillery are supposed to be kind of our run stoppers, but he's getting it done in all facets. So Harrison Phillips has got to be given some credit. Just
And talk about leadership skills too.
The leader, captain on this football team. Like I think he's the guy that gives the pregame speeches every Sunday. So, I mean, you got to give a shout out to Harrison Phillips. He's doing his thing, and his stats don't always pop up on the actual stat sheet. He's just doing his job, and he's being a leader, man. So, shout out to him. But I'd have to lean Grenard as well as being a leader and having 4 sacks and nine pressures. Like, I mean, dude
Does he only have 9 pressures? I thought he had like 12 pressures going into last week's game. He only got 9 pressures right now?
9 pressures total. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
9
Okay.
which again,
Must have been reading
that's
something.
3 a game.
Really
I
good.
mean, if
Yeah, really
you're
good.
giving 3 quarterback pressures a game, I mean,
Yeah, no,
you're
Grenard, yeah, that's a
gonna get
dog.
after it.
He's a dog.
So, I think we all
Bro,
agree
did
there.
you see the one sack that was so beautiful where he put Cade Stover on
Yeah.
his shout out Cade Stover too, because he Ohio State, so I didn't love nothing better but to see him get put on his you
Yeah,
feel me? Like,
no shout out to K Stover.
well,
You got
yeah,
your ass ran
That was
through.
tough.
ran straight through like it was nothing, bro. And then what made it even better is Grenard came out and said, "Yo, they actually put a rookie tight end to try to block me."
Yeah.
He said, "I've never seen that in my life."
Yep.
And I'm telling you right now, bro, I bet you they wouldn't try that shit again.
He felt disrespected.
He felt disrespected, ran straight through that motherfucker. I mean, it looked bad, bro. It
Especially
looked
from
good
your
for us.
former team. Like, you're
Yeah.
over here talking about, "Oh, we wanted to bring you back. Well, it's
Yeah.
just tough that we lost you, blah, 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 blah." But you're over here disrespecting me, putting a rookie tight end one-on-one with me? All right, bet. Bet.
Put him
And
on his ass.
they said they kept doing it. He said they kept doing it too. It was they just kept throwing him one-on-one with Cade Stover. But hey, good for us, man. Looks good on us. But one thing I wanted to kind of go over real quick, and I touched on it earlier, is the attitude of this team that's following the attitude of their head coach KOC.
Mhm.
Now, he had an interview with, I believe, was it Will Raggets? I may be wrong on who it was, but he was asked about the whole, I don't know if you guys remember in training camp when the Cleveland Browns came to town, and there was a report out that, oh, KOC brought the guys together in the middle of the field and he was mad at the Cleveland coaching staff for being so aggressive, and why are we being this aggressive, blah, 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 blah. There's a little more to it than just that. Now, KOC said, one of the reasons I got so upset in Cleveland was I knew our players would be reading that, and I told Schwartz, which is I believe the defensive coordinator for the Browns, he was being too physical. O'Connell said that couldn't have been further from the truth. O'Connell was preaching toughness to his players, ripping them in the hotel that night and saying, we better show up tomorrow and be a lot more physical if we want to be what we say we are, and hated that he sounded weak to them in social media at the time. So that was one quote. So that right there, that kind of null and voids what we heard before if KOC was mad because it was being too physical. He was mad because our team wasn't being physical enough, and he made it be known. So all this KOC's too nice and he's this nice guy, but no, KOC's got some fire.
Yeah.
And he goes on to say this: I could have been the guy seeking comfort in all the excuses, O'Connell said, but I wanted to make sure that regardless of anything, I could build a team that could sustain and win in this league based upon the core values of when you play up against us. You will feel it. You better buckle up, because if you don't, we're going to beat you with a lot more than passing concepts and trick them up defenses and schemes by flow. We want to be able to put the pin down and say, we're running right at you on second down against the Giants in the red zone, and we're going to walk the ball into the end zone.
Let's go.
Did anybody expect this from KOC? Like, this is like, it's giving me chills just like reading this. Like,
well, this is one of the many reasons why this team is successful. You even go back to Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah and how he admitted how his draft process in 2022 was flawed, and he had to learn from that. You look at KOC, and I'm not going to say that I thought he was a soft head coach. I just thought that he had no idea what he was doing as far as play calling is concerned. But I do love the fact that he took what the perception was going to be on social media seriously.
He's listening.
I always say, don't read the comments, or if you read the comments, just brush it off. It doesn't matter. But I'm glad that he took it personal, because you can see it in the play of this team with these players, how physical they are, how they're talking smack after making big plays.
Yep.
And then, I mean, the vibes overall are immaculate, where it spreads from the coaching staff to the players. And then when they play at home, US Bank Stadium. Yeah. I do every live stream for every game. For copyright purposes, I can't have the sound on the TV while I'm doing the live streams. But you know what? I know that those fans are louder than they've ever been in that stadium
Yep.
because of how they're playing, how elite this team is. So whatever KOC was saying in that hotel room and all that other stuff, clearly it worked for them, and they're showing it game in and game out.
Yeah, and Justin Jefferson followed that by saying, Sometimes you got to let the dark side out." Jefferson said, "We definitely see it sometimes with KO. Not very often, but when that dark side comes out, we all know what time it is." O'Connell laughed as Friday's Zoom call ended and said, "This is a layer to me I feel our fans need to know about." He also said, "Just so they know that I got it in me."
Yeah.
We know, coach.
And look, man, this league will create a monster too, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this league will create a monster, man. I feel like, I've always said that KOC, Kwesi, they're very intentional. That's what I like about them. And I'm gonna tell you, man, when you after 3 years of being in the NFL and you a head coach or you're a GM and you're going through the draft process and all, and you get knocked down and have to get back up, but I should have turned you into something, boy.
Yeah.
Like that should have bring the dark side out of you. And for sure, I'm sure other coaches around the league probably was like, "Oh, he's soft over there." KOC when he first got in the league, "Oh, he's soft, he's too nice," and this probably had the same perception we had as fans. Because I'm guilty. I'm guilty to think
Yeah.
that he was a little bit too nice. Like I didn't think he had a mean bone in his body. I thought he was a. It's one thing to be a player's coach, but you too much of a player's coach. Like you letting players make the damn decisions on if they gonna play, and I don't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody got to drag their nuts. And I'm gonna tell you, man, it looks like he definitely there, man. And the team rallying behind him. I mean, I'll run through a brick wall for KOC, man. I've always been a KOC guy, though. At the end of the day, I still believe we made the right decision, and it's showing, man. Like
Yeah.
for real, he innovative. That's why I wanted him over Harbaugh. And me and you, SK, we Michigan guys, so we love Harbaugh, but like I
Yeah.
wanted KOC just based off the fact that I figured he would be willing to be more innovative. He would be willing to, look at how the league, what trajectory the league going, and adjust to that instead of just saying, "Hey, this is my old school style. This is what I've been doing since 1995, and this is what the hell I'm sticking with." You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and that's what Zimmer kind of was stuck in, and that's why we got results we got for sure towards the
We're
end of his.
we're getting the quotes from KOC that we kind of wanted from Zimmer before.
Yeah,
Like, because Zimmer was so known to be like this tough, rugged guy, like I'm getting on my players, but it ended up just turning out like he was just kind of blaming everything on his players and not taking, responsibility.
yeah,
But KOC's bringing that attitude and that grit that
yeah.
we're kind of expecting to hear from Mike Zimmer,
Yeah.
through social
He got
media.
that swagger, man. He bringing that swagger, bro.
And
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure what he wore to the Texans game, but I remember he showed up to that Niner game. He had the baby blue blazer on with I think
Telling you.
the tan, the tan slacks. I was like, okay,
Telling you.
KLC, go ahead and do your thing. But
Hey,
I mean,
boy got that swagger, man.
you as a Vikings fan, you got to feel confident and you got to feel comfortable about this guy being your franchise's head coach. And I mean, we're in a very good position to where we may be able to retain Brian Flores as a defensive coordinator after this year.
We'll see.
But now,
I don't know, man.
with him,
Go ahead.
with him being in the conversation for a head coaching gig again after all the outside of football stuff that he's dealing with, tells you a lot in what he's doing with this football team.
To be honest with you, I think it's gonna be a bad move if he does. Like, this is the thing, man. Some people are just good at what they do, right? And what I mean by that is, bro, you are a defensive coordinator. That's what you need to be. It's okay, bro. It's fine. Like, you're still gonna make millions and millions of dollars. It's fine, bro. Like, just
what do you want?
You
We'll
were
make
great.
the highest paid coordinator in the league.
Right.
Like, we'll do that
because
for you,
it's
bro.
like, come on, man. Like, how much were you gonna get paid for that head coaching job? All right, here you go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Be
there
the
you go.
Panthers head coach or something.
You got less responsibility, and you're doing what you're actually really great at. To where when you go be a actual head coach, you got to hire your own staff, do all that. Everybody's not good at that. You feel me? Like everybody's not good at that, man. Like, just stick here, get the check, man, and do what you need to do for the Minnesota Vikings, man, for sure. And again, KOC he gonna get him an extension as well. Like the whole
Oh yeah,
all
that's
three, Quasi,
oh
KOC, and
time
damn
together
B
forever.
Flow. Just have one press conference. You know what I'm saying? Just have
One big party.
three of them motherfuckers sitting in a row and slide all three papers right up in front of them motherfuckers and
Yeah.
let's record this shit, man. Like for real. That'll make the fans happy.
I know you wanted to say something, Randy. What was that?
I think it's rare for a coordinator to not want to be a head coach. Like you have a few examples in recent history. Brian Flores with the Cardinals, Ben Johnson with Detroit chose to stay as the OC for the Lions. But for the most part, any chance these coordinators get, everyone wants to move up the ladder. Any opportunity that these coordinators get, even if it's with a bad team, Robert Saleh to the Jets leaving San Francisco, for example, more often than not, they're going to take it. I understand Flores is surrounded by controversy. I would love if the NFL keeps him blacklisted. That I would want nothing more than for Brian Flores to retire in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, as each week goes by and he's making all these high-powered teams look absolutely silly, and you know it's because of Brian Flores. I mean, the domination that the Vikings have defensively, the more this continues, I think the more likely that these teams are going to look the other way with his controversy and say, we don't even care. Look at the results that he's putting up.
Yeah.
I after last week, I would have said, hey, man, the league, they're going to look at him the same way they looked at him when he went to Pittsburgh and came over to the Vikings and really declined the Arizona Cardinals job, I think, because he knew that was a bad spot to be in and that was his only opportunity. I would have said last week, hey, we got him. No problem. After yesterday's performance against the Texans, and now you've got, I know it's any given Sunday, you've got essentially a cakewalk the rest of this season, this schedule. I think there's a real chance he gets multiple head coaching interviews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be based on if he wants to go or not, I guess. Like, so our fate's in his hands, really, if he wants to go. Because you never know. I mean, I get what you're saying too, Randy, as far as like most people do want to move up the ladder and be a head coach. And obviously he still wanted to be because he went to interview with the Giants. Although they did him dirty, he turned down the Arizona one, but he did go for an interview for a head coaching gig. So obviously there's still some desire there. But you know, the fun he's having and maybe the group, we can maybe just hope that the group with KOC and they treat him as a head coach. Like he's pretty much a head coach, just a defensive court. Like we have two, I said this earlier, we have two head coaches, bro. We have a head coach for offense and a head coach for defense. And like, maybe he enjoys that, you know what I mean? Hopefully that he likes that. And he's like, you know what, man, I don't, all that extra stress, man, F it, man, I'm staying here. You know what I mean? So that's what we can hope and pray for. But I wouldn't be surprised, like Randy said, though, because he probably is going to get a ton of fucking offers.
I mean, but let's be real. Let's look at the team real quick. And I know we may be going off track a little bit, but this is a very interesting topic because this is our defensive coordinator. I mean, look at the teams that are going to be firing their coaches. I believe Chicago is going to fire Eberflus, which that's a defensive head coach. Chicago's not going to want to go for a defensive head coach. They're going to want an offensive mind with Caleb Williams. Mm-hmm. So I don't think Flores would be in the running for that, regardless of how great of a defensive coordinator is. I just don't think it would work. The New York Jets, they're more than, depending on how their season goes, Soleil's more than likely going to be out of there. That's another defensive head coach. They're probably going to want an offensive guy. Then you look at, I think the Colts are probably fine with Steichen because Steichen's a really good coach. I think the only real threat, and this may be me kind of just making my own bold prediction, is I think the Eagles are going to end up firing their head coach in Sirianni. And Flores like fits in perfect with their whole demeanor, and they want a nasty defense, and that would be dangerous. That would be the team I would worry about. Mm-hmm. You look at other teams. Let's see. I don't think the Browns will move off of Stefanski. I think just the Watson thing has been a mess. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Dolphins are going to They're not going to go the Flores route.
Mm-mm.
The Titans maybe, but I think they're going to want to get a young quarterback with the offensive minded head coach.
Mhm.
I mean, what other teams do you think? I mean, the
I
Jaguars.
mean, the
Maybe?
Eagles sounds Jaguars. Jaguars might be a good
The,
one. I could
the
see Jaguars and Eagles for
the
sure.
Panthers. They just hired their coach this
Hell
offseason.
no, he ain't
He
going to the Panthers. That'd be
Wh-
stupid.
Which that's what I'm saying though. Like there's a legitimate chance, even though there is some head coaching spots open, to where Flores is going to either look outside of that Eagles job. That's the dangerous one. That's the one I'm worried about.
I could see the Bears though too, like for
Bears
real.
won't do it. Bears won't do it.
Why
They
not? They brought in
they won't.
Eberflus.
They will not do that with the reports that came out with how he treated Tua, and then bring him in with
Yeah.
a young quarterback like Caleb Williams. They will not do that. That's
Yeah,
just
you got a
asking
point.
for them to be fired, for their
You got a
GM to
point.
be fired.
Yeah, you got a point.
So definitely not the Bears. But I mean, what other teams outside of the Eagles are we really? And the Eagles, them firing their coach, that may be just me like
No, I think
hopeful.
Sirianni's going to get fired this year.
So
I
I mean,
really do.
if they make a run in the playoffs, he'll probably stick around. But if they miss the playoffs and they continue to have these kind of coaching whiffs as far as play calling goes, he's probably out of there. And I don't even know what side of the ball it is Sirianni. Is he special
Offense.
teams?
No,
Is he
he's offense.
But
He's
he
offense, but he
doesn't.
doesn't call the plays though.
Yeah, so he's just a placeholder right now.
Mhm.
So he's easy to get rid of. So that would be the team I'm worried about. But outside of that, I don't see any other team wanting a defensive-minded head coach.
There is something to be said about being happy at your job, and I do believe that Brian Flores is truly happy, which is a lot to say considering what he says he has been through. And I mean, you look at Miami for right now, based off of the results. I mean, Brian Flores seems to have been right about Tua.
Yeah.
I mean, even before he got hurt, everyone focuses on the concussion that he suffered, and it was really dumb of a move for him to make as far as trying to get those extra yards leading with his head. He needs to learn how to slide more. But Brian Flores turns out to be right as far as the results. He's been more successful as of late. There is something to be said about being happy. I do believe he is happy in Minnesota. However, there's the other side where I'm telling you, man, even if a job doesn't make sense. Now, Flores did show that with the Cardinals. Like, I think he believed that was a disaster and not to go there. But the pride with these individuals involved in the sport of football that wants to prove everyone wrong, there's that other side of the coin. If Philadelphia, I do believe Nick Sirianni is going to get fired. I think the Eagles will have another failed season based off of their expectations. They're going to do enough just to get by in the NFC East, especially the Cowboys stink. The Giants aren't even a factor, and the Commanders are trying to figure it out with their rookie quarterback. So they'll make the playoffs. They'll get a home game. They'll win the NFC East.
Yeah.
But they fail to meet expectations. I could see Brian Flores going there as well, or at least entertaining it. Now, you just have to hope that the joy that he has in Minnesota outweighs him wanting to go through all that crap of being a head coach all over again. But that's I don't think it's an open and shut case. Oh, he's happy here, so he's going to stay here. You never know with how these dudes think.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of season to go, and there could be a surprise coaching firing and whatever. But let's enjoy it while he's here.
Facts.
So let's hope it lasts longer than this year, but let's enjoy this season. It's still early in the year. We still got 14 more games to go this season. So starting off,
let's
3-0.
hope there's a disciple there, an understudy, if you will, that's at least learning from this guy in the event that he decides to take off somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But let's get to these game picks, man. This is my favorite part of our show.
Oh boy.
And
What
we
the
can go
record
back-
look?
Yeah, we're gonna touch on the record. I'm tallying them to where we're all caught up with the first 3 weeks to see who's leading right now. But starting, I'll have those in a second. But starting with the picks we had last week for the Philadelphia New Orleans game, me and Realistic Randy had New Orleans. Rap had Philly, so Rap got that one. All right, Rap. Rap or no, Randy actually got the Pittsburgh game. Me and Rap went with the Chargers, and Randy went with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Got the point there. Detroit, Arizona. I reluctantly picked Detroit, and I was right. Rap and Realistic Randy went with Arizona. Chicago, Indy. You just had to pick the Bears, didn't you, Randy? You just had to pick the Bears, which me and Rap ended up getting a point for that game, picking Rich Gang, your boy
Rich
Rich
Gang, and he looked bad too.
The ass bowl.
The ass bowl.
Yeah.
The other ass bowl, I was the only one to pick the Green Bay Packers. I don't know why you guys are picking the Tennessee Titans. They're probably the worst team in the league. Worse
Bro,
than
I was just
Malik
thinking,
Willis.
like, come on, man. You got to win one fucking game.
better coach, man. The better coach. We all picked KC. We are all right. And of course, we all picked the Minnesota Vikings, which we were all right on as well. And coming in second place was Rap this week with 4 correct picks. And coming in first place was your boy with 5 correct picks. And Randy on the back end with 3. Randy struggled this past week. Randy struggled.
That's all right. I picked the game that mattered most.
Exactly.
There you
exactly.
go. We all got that game right.
Which we're all undefeated on the big game this year.
We
all
are
3-0. We're all 3-0.
3-0. Yeah, let's go.
If I'm telling you,
we know ball. You hear me?
Yeah, look, we know ball.
We know ball.
So if I'm tallying them up here, that's 4-3-4. So, oh, that's gonna take me a minute. I'll let you guys know by the end of the show. But we'll get the new picks in right now.
All I know is I was 7-0, and then I was 4, so I was 11.
Man, you're hanging on to that 7.
Hold up, though. Wait a minute.
Impressive.
I was 7-0, 4-3, so that's 11-3, and then whatever we did just now. How many did I pick? I picked
we
what, 3?
We do 7
you
a week.
said you got 4 right, so you're 4-3 again.
So you have a total of 15 correct picks.
I'm 15-6. You feel me? Like
15-6.
Let's go.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
I think I'm still barely above 500, but holding on for dear life.
15-6, baby.
15-6. Let's see what we had. That's 4, and then you have 3 more, so 7. So you're 10 and let me see, what's that? 10 and
11.
11.
I'm 10 and 11.
You're
10 and 11.
Oh,
You're
struggling.
Shiitake mushrooms.
You're struggling.
Right.
You're struggling, Randy. And then myself, I had 4. I'm 11 and 10. No. I'm 12 and 9. 12 and 9.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 12 and 9. I'm in this thing. Right behind. Rap had his little 7-0. He had his fun.
That was crazy, bro. I can't believe that should actually happen.
He had his fun. I think my record's better than that. But if I need to make any corrections, I will. We'll have to go back.
I'll bounce back this week.
Well, let's go with these games this week.
I'm on a mission.
All right. So
I'm going 7-0.
The first game we're gonna go with is Saints traveling to Atlanta to play the Falcons.
Saints.
I'm going Saints too. Facts. I'm going Saints. Yep.
Ooh, okay. So New Orleans at Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yep. Divisional game. Saints will have a bounce back week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna go Atlanta here.
And the Saints defense is really good. Their defense is very underrated right now. I mean, really, not really though. Their defense is actually they're getting talked about, rightfully so.
It's 10 a.m. It's at home. Kirk Cousins is probably gonna light him up.
It's 10 a.m. It's a morning game.
Well,
PS
10 a.m. my
Pacific.
time. Yeah, my time.
Man,
So
you got to talk in real time, man. Like actual time, man. Eastern.
This is
time.
my real time. So the early game, the early slot window.
Yeah.
So as we all know, that's Kirk Cousins' favorite time to ball out. Next game we have, let's go Rams at the Bears.
Rams.
I gotta go Rams. I mean, the Bears, until they win a game, like I'm not going down that route again.
Yeah.
I thought you could beat the Colts. Anthony Richardson. He's a
Rams.
bad player.
Rich gang.
You couldn't even do that.
Rams.
So no.
Yeah, we're going Rams.
Give me the
Rams
Rams.
all
Okay,
day.
yeah,
And they're depleted. They have nobody on their roster now.
Man, they
The
smacked
LA
the
Rams.
49ers. They was balling on the 49ers. They was down by, weren't they down by like 2 scores or some shit and came back?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they missed the field goal, and then there was turnover on downs. The Rams marched up the field and tied it, and then they end up winning the game.
Yeah.
And
The
I'm
Niners
trying.
blew it.
Yeah, no, they did. They definitely did. Next game we have Philadelphia traveling to Tampa Bay against the Buccaneers.
It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
Part of me wants to give Tampa Bay this freaking dub, but I'm gonna go with Philly.
okay.
Tampa.
Okay. I'm gonna go Tampa too. I think Tampa is just one of those teams that has Philly's number.
Yeah.
They just always seem to have their numbers. So
Really? Because they got their doors blown off their ass in the playoffs a couple years. Like, what was that? 2 years ago, maybe? When
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
Last
last
year,
year.
Tampa Bay blew them out the building.
Yeah,
that is
So
true.
forgot about
that's when
that,
Philly
huh?
fell apart second half of last season.
Okay, next game we have KC traveling to LA to play the Chargers, which it's without Herbert. So I think we're all
Yeah.
going Chiefs here,
Chiefs.
right?
Yeah, Chiefs. Yeah.
I probably shouldn't even put that game on there, but it's all good. So we're all going Chiefs there. That's an easy one for us. Watch them fucking lose.
I know, right? Easton Stick or
Um,
whatever his fucking name is going to have like 400 yards.
Sunday night game, we have the Bills traveling to Baltimore to play the Ravens.
Ooh.
me the Bills.
It's a good one.
No
Give me the
hesitation,
Bills.
huh?
Give me the Bills, man. The Bills is hitting right now. Give me the Bills.
A regular season game at Baltimore. Give me Lamar Jackson. I'll take the Ravens.
Okay.
That's a tough game, though.
Okay. Yeah, it is a tough game. I think I'm gonna go Baltimore too. I think they kind of hit their stride now.
Make
They
the
got-
right choice, fellas. I'm feeling a 7-0 coming. Make the right
Oh
choice.
boy, you
I'm
said
going
that
Bills.
the past 2
I'm
weeks.
going
You
Bills.
said that the past 2 weeks, dog. We don't believe you.
Oh, shit.
We don't believe you. Last game before the big one. Let's see. There's a couple stinkers on here. I'm trying to avoid the stinkers. Let's go. Jesus. Patriots 49ers. Patriots going to San Francisco. Banged up San Francisco.
49ers.
Yeah.
Should I pick a
come on,
different
man,
game?
Pick a different
Yeah,
game.
like
come
that's a
on, man.
layup.
I mean, the other game.
I mean, I'll take it. It'll be an easy way to get my record up.
The Browns Raiders. Is that better? Browns Raiders.
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 Yeah.
You sure? You sure
Yep.
about that?
Have you seen Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, let's do that one instead. Give me the Browns.
Okay.
I'm going Browns.
Wow.
Oh.
All right.
Browns gonna bounce back.
Oh,
Browns
Rap
gonna
saw a
bounce back.
challenge. He said, "Oh, you
Yeah,
Okay.
give me that one. The Raiders don't look good. The Raiders are just as ass as the Browns. That's definitely a damn toilet bowl game right there for sure. That's gonna be the toilet bowl game of the week. Facts.
So, yeah, we're gonna have one toilet bowl game of the week, and that's it for sure. Oh.
It's gonna be like who can suck the best. All right, that's who's gonna win that fucking.
I'm
game.
gonna go Raiders. I'm gonna go Raiders strictly for my guy Madison, man. I'm gonna go Raiders.
Okay.
Go Raiders.
I'm going Browns, man. Browns all
And
day,
then
man.
obviously the big one of the day. Vikings traveling to Lambeau Field. Vikings 3-0, Packers 2-1. More than likely, Jordan Love will be playing for the Packers. I would be surprised if it's Malik Willis. Who we got? 2-point underdogs.
Give me the fight.
Man, bring back the ghost of Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre. I don't give a damn, bro. This team's going to win. The Vikings. The Vikings are going to win this game.
I'm just making sure.
No, I'm
making
just
sure.
this ain't even about the NFC North and the rivalry that they have. I'm looking past that. I'm talking about the league, the NFC, all the teams in the NFL, the Vikings.
If you want it, come get it. If you want it, come get it.
Give me the Vikings.
Doesn't
Give me the
matter.
Vikings.
Any place, any time, it doesn't matter. Lambeau Field, Soldier
The
Field, NFL Street, it doesn't matter.
NFL Street.
We want all fades. We
To
want
be real, I hope they play love, man. Like what a hell of a
no
game to put
excuse.
him
I don't
out
want no
there trying to
excuses.
come back. He trying to come back off that injury, but you sure you want to do that? You might want to wait till next week to put him out there. I'm gonna keep it real with you, but
We're
they're
not
rolling
doing
with
no
Willis, so
excuses.
put love in.
Yeah, we're not doing no excuses this week.
Yeah.
Again, we're underdogs yet again. I know it's on the road. It's against the Packers. Whatever
Oh
you want
man,
to say.
we got Juan Ramirez in the chat. Another one, man. Matter of
Hey,
fact, never mind. Never mind.
It doesn't even matter.
Let 'em have it.
They can keep talking.
Never mind.
Let them have it. Texans fans, y'all did your talking. Y'all are gonna get a little snippet because we owe y'all. So y'all gonna get a little snippet too. So don't even trip on it. But
And we know they're not gonna show up on Sunday. Like that's the part that's annoying. It's like they talk on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, man. But where you at on Sunday though?
we know those Packers fans are gonna pop up on our TikTok and they're gonna leave their comments.
Oh yeah.
We welcome it. We welcome all takers because we're
Yeah.
2 for 2 right now. We didn't hear none from Giants fans. Rap probably got his earful when he did his joint podcast. We didn't get nothing on TikTok from Giants fans, so we're gonna stall y'all out, Giants fans. But Niners fans got it, Texans fans got it, and you know damn well Packers fans, y'all are gonna get it too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Vikings all day.
Vikings all day, baby.
It might be by a lot.
A lot.
By a lot.
I'm gonna say double digits.
Stop
A
that
lot.
run. Stop that run.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop that run. B-Flow, do your thizzle.
Aaron Jones about to cook, boy. You hear
Aaron
me? That boy
Jones,
might have about
revenge game.
50.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be fun to watch, but
Mhm.
most Vikings Packers games are fun to watch, anyways. It is a rivalry game, so look, it's gonna be tough regardless. But I think we can handle these Packers. I'm going Vikings. We're all going Vikings here. So just to recap, New Orleans at Atlanta. Rap and Randy are going New Orleans. I am going Atlanta. LA at Chicago. We're all going with the Rams. Philly at Tampa Bay. Rap is going with Philly. Me and Randy are going with Tampa Bay. KC at the Chargers. All going KC. Buffalo at Baltimore. Rap is going Buffalo. Me and Randy are going Baltimore. Cleveland versus Las Vegas, the toilet bowl of the week. Rap is going Cleveland. Myself and Randy are going Las Vegas. And Minnesota, Green Bay, as always.
Mhm.
Vikings, baby. You know what it is. So
Vikings.
you already know how we do, man. 3-0. We're feeling great. Looking at 4-0, and hopefully we can get this divisional win. Anything we want to leave the people before we get out of here, fellas?
To all the Packers fans that are going to talk their shit this week, just like Texans and Niners fans the previous 2 weeks, let it be known. Get your shit off now. I talk my shit after the game. So, and we have to do a show. Like we don't have the luxury to hide after a loss, even if it's embarrassing. We have to come back and hold ourselves accountable. The luxury with everybody talking smack against us is that they can just leave their comment on, Tuesday through Saturday, and then Sunday when they're clearly wrong, they don't have to appear again.
Right.
Just disappear in the wind. We don't have that luxury. But I talk my stuff after the game. So get your shit off now.
Yeah, for sure.
Rap, go ahead. Talk your shit, Rap. Talk your shit, Rap.
We ain't gonna talk too
don't
crazy.
play
You know what I'm
humble
saying?
now.
We ain't gonna talk too crazy, man.
don't get humble now.
Shit getting easy out here, man. 34-7, man. It's getting a little too easy, man. Look, I hope the Packers actually make it a game. I don't think they will. We gonna smack them. You know what I mean? It's called Smack the Pack Week, man. You feel me? Now, if we lose, like Randy said, I gotta come back on here and face this. You know what I mean? But I don't see us losing, bruh. Like to the Packers, let's be serious, man. We're not losing to the Packers. Not this year. It ain't happening, bruh. Like for real, they got nothing coming.
I don't know, man. I don't see an L on the record.
I don't see an L.
I don't see L on the record right now, man.
I just can't see it, bro. Like I don't see how they're gonna score enough points to beat us, bro. I just don't see it.
Yeah, so
facts.
You already know how it is, guys. We appreciate you guys tapping in with us. This is Purple Parlor. If you don't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share. Man, shout out to Eddie in Canada. He's been showing us love on Twitter, man. He taps into the show every week. He asks for a shout out. you got the shout out, Eddie. He was also at Skullfest too. So
Yeah,
shout
man.
out
Shout
Eddie.
out
That's
Eddie,
our
man.
guy, man.
For
That's
sure.
our guy. Thank you for tapping. I think he's tapping in on Twitter, so he may not be able to comment.
Yeah, man. He got the whole Canada on B-Flow, man. You know what I'm
he
saying?
does.
Like, he a B-Flow fan, man. He said, hey, man, B-Flow got Canada on lock. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Hit that subscribe button. As always, it's your boy SK, Randy, Rap. This is the Purple Parlor. Until next time, y'all. 3-0, about to be 4-0. Let's go.
Let's go.
I say the same. I say the same.